Okay, David, I wanted to quickly go over the electronics that I reprogrammed here for the KR Regiis that you sent me to have etched for the club suit that I etched for you. So you've already seen all the photographs of the etching work, but because the electronics I got had a chassis that was busted that wouldn't accept the battery, I went ahead and gave you my Eco chassis. So here that is from Goth, just installed with a Proffie V2. I used the exact same fonts that I did for your mystery staff, and the programming is almost the same. I reordered the fonts a little differently, but we've got one of each color that we've talked about for the Canon colors, as well as the additional, a couple additional colors, i.e. the blood orange to represent the new, I guess we're going to call them Dark Jedi. I don't really know, Balin and Shin Hati from Ahsoka. So spring side is negative, nipple to nipple on the battery. We have a kill switch here. This does have the 25 millimeter KR speaker. This thing is really efficient. Looks are deceiving. This is one of the louder speakers I have. So for that, I also use these in your mystery staff install because I wanted to do a full, I'll go over that here in a second, but we'll put the battery in. So I did have that already on. This switch section, so this has, the Shtok rotary PCB up in the thing here with our little pogos down there. The only thing we have to do is either align it with these little notches, either up or down, and those align with these screws right here. I don't know if I can, you're actually seeing that through all the etched details. So we got two screws there. Okay, so just align that up, right? And then you'll see the speaker goes all the way in. If it doesn't, here, I'll show you that real quick. You'll see you can only get it that way, in which case you can just twist until it goes in, and then use your pommel to push the chassis up against those things. And now power, aux. Oh, I've got the blade plug in. The blade plug that they provide, that was provided, is not see-through. So, but you have twist on, twist off, aux.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
To move forward in presets, point down and go back. So this is DV3. So this is a Vader font as the first font. And then real bassy. I didn't turn the volume all the way up on here, but it can go louder. I think I have it set to 2250 or 2500, one of those two. Still plenty loud.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'm Qui-Gon Jinn.
So let me grab the Allen key for this. There wasn't one provided, but I do have one that will fit this. This is your blade retention screw. This screw here holds this black shroud piece on. This is the version 2 of the Regiis, so that this can come off, making the shrouds come off easier, which was very nice when I went to go etch this. Okay, so here's the, I've got the correct size Allen key here. I'm gonna back off this. So that's the blade plug that whoever you bought this from provided. It, it's all metal, so you can't see through anything. But thankfully, it doesn't touch the NeoPixel PCB. This is the Eco, Shtok Eco V2. So you do get some shine through, right? And then I'm gonna put a demo blade in here. It takes a 1-inch diameter NeoPixel blade, which I have this programmed like we always do for a 36-inch length. So you're not gonna see some tip effects on this demo real quick. But again, I just wanted to provide this real quick so you know how to operate this. I do have a printout, so this will function exactly the same as your mystery staff, the exception being the mystery staff has extra features. So there's our green blade. aux for blaster blocks. Clash the saber. So the one thing I did differently that I haven't been doing on some of your other installs, and part of this is because of the mystery staff, is battle mode is only accessible through thrust on. So if you do a twist on, you're just in regular mode, which means when you clash, you're just going to get the clash. But if you want to lock up, you hold either aux or power and then lock up. Clash, right? And then you hold power and tap aux to do the lightning. So I'm still holding power. That's lightning. And then again, I'm not going to see tip effects, but you'll want to hold either of the two buttons and then clash to get your lockup. So obviously, if you're pointing down, you'll get the drag effect, okay? So twist on is activated. Otherwise, you can just, hit the power. So those are the only two gestures I have, is twist on and thrust on. Thrust on is that horizontal motion. So now we have battle mode, which means if I clash, I'm gonna stay in a lockup till I pull away, okay? So that's the only difference. So I'm gonna go backwards real quick.
Obi-Wan.
Okay, so your first preset is Vader, dark side, okay? This will be a little bit different on the mystery staff. I reordered the fonts for this kind of, it's just a, club's etch. So we got our red blade.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I did try to stick to the original trilogy in terms of fonts. So you've got Vader and then Obi-Wan. Then
I'm Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon for green.
Master Windu.
And then Windu for our purple. Some of these do have like in and out animations that you'll see better in the full blade. And just like the other items, when you're in the off state, holding power will start the track player mode. But if you're pointed up, it'll point the designated track. On the designated tracks, I've stuck to the things that you and I have discussed. A few of them are different, but if you did want to just scroll through them, point the saber in any direction other than up, hold power for a second in the off state. You'll hear that little ring sound. Now we rotate to go through all of the tracks. And I've provided a lot more than what you've asked for. So, and then if you want to continue playing that while you swing it around, you hit power, okay? Otherwise, if you keep rotating it in one direction or the other, you'll keep scrolling through the presets. So let me do that one more time. Hold power for a second. We'll rotate backwards. So now I can swing around, turn the saber on if I want to, and then to turn it off while the saber's on or off, you have to point up and hold power. If you started the track while the saber's on, you have to point up, and again, it will only activate the designated track. Otherwise, you get a force effect, okay? So I'll go backwards real quick.
I'm Qui-Gon Jinn.
On this one, you'll see why I picked this particular track. So I'm swinging it around, right? Okay, and so while the saber is on, if you're not pointing up, you'll do force effect sound, like I mentioned a second ago. But if you want to switch between force player and quote player mode, because I do have a lot of these that have quotes, then you'll point the hilt down instead of up when the saber's on. Let's demonstrate that real quick. And then it'll swap. This may Oops.
My tricks don't work on me. Only money.
Let's go to a font I know has quotes.
Master Window!
We will use all our resources to unravel this mystery. We will discover the identity of your attacker.
So I do have it set to random, so it's not going to go sequentially through all of the quotes, but
I don't trust him.
if there are quotes in the folder, it will now play with a long hold. But if we want to switch back to force effect sounds, point down, and now it'll just be force effects. Okay, and then on force effects, there is a blade animation that you'll see. Usually it's an unstable ripple for as long as the sound effect is happening, but it won't do that with the quote player mode. So now we have an unstable blade. And I believe, I don't remember which Kylo I got this from. It's one of the ones I've gotten for you before. So, but you can see on the effect player, it goes a little bit orangish during the force effect, and now it's back to red. So if we switch to quote player mode, oh wait, this one may not have quotes. So. So here's Rey. Obviously, it's just the when she had the Graflex. So this is going to be a light blue. This one might have quotes.
They sold you to protect you.
Yep.
I know what happened to them.
Yep. So now we're in quote player mode. But for yellow,
I wondered when you would return.
we've got Temple Guardian here. So that's our yellow blade.
Anakin.
So Anakin, I think, is just a full blue. So this would be prequel trilogy sounds. So Ahsoka, I think I did white. Yeah, it looks light blue on screen, but it's more of a silverish white. That's the, I think, animated series Ahsoka. And I think I did orange for Savage. Yeah, I think this is the blood orange. When I previously gave you an orange through Savage, it was dark orange. This one is like orange red, so it's a little bit more orange, or a little bit more red than orange.
Dark Jedi.
Here's Dark Jedi. And so this is not one we've talked about, but I did like a magenta blade that's sort of like the Revan color. And it's also unstable, so just giving you something different. This was more geared towards the staff, because the staff is themed kind of outside of the universe. So I wanted to give you some options for outside the universe on the mystery staff. And same thing, this is on the staff as well. This is a fire blade, but in green. And I should say it's a smoke blade. Can hardly tell here on this small demo blade, but it has this smoke effect.
Liquid static.
And then these are some extra Proffie fonts. So the blade style comes with the font. I forget who makes this one, but Coda is another new default Proffie font that I think I've been giving you as well. Again, blade style comes with it, so if you want to change it, you'll hold aux tap power, rotate, pick the color, and then press power. I'm gonna go ahead and just revert it by hitting aux because I don't want to change it. But if you want to change it, that's how you do it. And these also have preons. Again, the preons only happen if you hit power. If you do a twist on, it bypasses that preon effect.
Battery level.
We do have a battery level. Now we're not going to see it here, but you know it'll be on the tip because I think this is like an 80% charge. If you just want to get a quick readout, you'll with the blade off, you'll hold aux tap power.
Battery level 79%.
Yeah, we're close. So yeah, so you won't see it here. Now we're back to Vader, and when we're ready, just unscrew the pommel here. We can just pull it out as far as we need to hit that kill switch, plop it back in, make sure it's aligned, and now we're good to go. So I'm not gonna do a full demo here. You've seen the effects of all this stuff in previous designs. Just wanted to give you a quick rundown because the electronics that came to me did not have what you and I discussed as programming, and also the chassis that came to me, however it was installed, didn't use the correct battery tabs. So it was clear when the battery was put in, it cracked the chassis. So I just gave you, since I had already installed my Regiis, just gave you my electronics, and then I just reprogrammed it since I didn't use anything but a default programming. Again, this is exactly the same as the mystery staff that I'm about to film, but I will put this up live. So you won't know what the mystery staff looks like, but if you see this video before you see that, you'll at least know what fonts I gave you, why, and how to use it. Anything I don't cover, if you have any questions, I got another printout. It's pretty much the same as the printouts you've been getting, but you know, just another reference. So again, the club's Etch, had a good time doing this. This was a fun challenge to get the level of detail that I wanted with some of the themes that we discussed. So you've seen the pictures of the Etch, but now you have a full install as well. So hope you like it. Let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully this is short enough for you.